If every single one of your releases look like they are made from different artists, you probably do not need to worry about making better artwork. It's actually honing in on what your art is and have a clear direction with your project. You see, after doing it myself for over 15 years, falling into the same traps year after year, getting nowhere, I realized there's three main things that any inconsistent artist is doing and wondering why no one can relate to them. And the first main thing is they do not have a clear identity for this project, this artist, whether it's digital or it is you as the producer, singer, songwriter, whatever you're doing. You need a clear identity. And this is your first relatable point with your viewers and listeners. They're going to see your identity, visuals, what you stand for, how you talk, the themes between your music, and they can relate to that identity, therefore making them like your project even more and becoming super fans. And to build off of that identity, we need to make sure that all your art, assets, songs, everything that you've been publishing and releasing is not in isolation. And a lot of people are doing this, again, including myself. I made a lot of cool random songs that did not fit under a project. Now, I'm not saying stop making whatever music you want to make. I'm just saying at the end of the day, when you are publishing your music and you want to get money from it, it's a business. And you need to make sure the projects are a product, something that someone looks at it and goes, I get it, I like it, I'm going to enjoy it, and this is my entertainment, right? But if you have a lot of random songs, even if they're all good, people are just going to listen to that one song, forget about you, and that's that, right? So we need to stop putting out stuff in isolation and start to have a common identity that we could anchor off of for everything that we publish under this brand. And here's something that it's still something I have to be reminded of over and over again, and that is evolution being confused with total reinvention. Everything is moving fast in this world, and you do need to evolve with the times because this is a business. Again, you could keep making whatever music you want, but the business, to stay on top, stay relevant, stay producing and growing, you have to evolve with the times. And again, you're still making music over here, whatever you want. And maybe this artist does eventually evolve over there. And guess what? Now you already have a bunch of songs ready to go. So at the end of the day, you keep creating what you want to create. But you have to be strategic in what you're actually putting out and make sure it is anchored off your identity. You're not just doing random isolated events. And the last one is we are evolving so people don't get bored and stale. But we're not reinventing the wheel every single time. So before you make any changes and start to just go crazy and flip the tables, you've got to go through what already exists and see what should stay and what is recognizable throughout your project. Now, if you're starting from scratch and this is new, well, good. You get a clean slate and you get to choose what you want to focus on for this project, brand, and artist identity. But for those that already have it all, you're going to go through it, see if there's any themes, which songs are more popular than others. Do your popular songs, can they relate to each other, or are they just completely different and they're just songs people liked? Your artwork, is there anything you tend to do? Just go through everything and then start to think and brainstorm how you want to be portrayed under this brand, and anything that just comes naturally to you that you could package up and make a cohesive product. At the end of the day, again, this is a business. If you want to make money from your music, you got to start thinking strategically like this and not just create, upload, thinking of them as lottery tickets and hoping someone just discovers you and hands you millions of dollars, and then now you just do whatever you want and live life, right? But the good news is I'm learning and I'm teaching you all how to put the power back in your hands so you could do it all yourself. You don't have to do these lottery tickets and wait for people to discover you. You could actually just discover yourself and start to put out work under something that people can relate to and will want to be entertained by your music and your art and your visuals, whatever package you put out at the end of the day under your artist brand that you have been building. So, to sum that all up, you want to stay recognizable by thinking about an identity, some themes, and the promise and tone. Promise is basically when they come to your project and view it, what are they going to get? That's your promise. You are curating an experience, an entertainment package for them to enjoy. And if they like you and you are building your brand off of this style, well, you got to deliver that style. And when they start to evolve or you want to evolve, you could start to make small pivots away and start to branch off where the market's going and where you are going or wanting to go with the brand. And if this is a lot to take in, no worries. We did put a playbook together. It's completely free. And you can see down here what you'll go through, set the foundation, define your audience and position, build the creative world, compile and audit your artist Bible. This is your source of truth for everything about your artist. And then you're going to have your next 30-day priority and start to have a base so you could start to develop off of and actually build out your music brand and start to make money from it and being taken serious. And most importantly, get your super fans so they could stream your music and all your numbers are on the up. And once you get this all together, everything is going to be much easier because now that your brain is just coming up with all this creativity, just oozing creativity, you could be like, does this fit my project? If so, let's develop it, go through the system, create the artwork, publish it, all that stuff, and release it. And if it doesn't, save for later. You are still creating for fun, so you could still save your projects. Just keep them away from this identity that you are trying to build and have a successful business from. And by now you're probably thinking, so I just create a system, copy, paste, copy, paste. No, it's not like that. Having an identity does not mean everything needs to look and sound identical every single time. It just means there is a direction. You have room to play within. You could be different, but there is a direction you're going. You're not doing some off the wall thing over here, and then you're doing some abstract thing over here, and then you're doing some nature thing over here, and you're just bouncing all over. But let's say your aesthetic is more nature and outdoorsy. You could blend in some digital stuff. You could blend in some other influences, but you still have that main direction you're going, and that is what's going to help people stay around for the long run because they understand what they're getting into and what they're following, not just a random nonsense. Why would they stick around and follow you? So we need to have a direction. We need an identity, but we also need to evolve. How do we do that? Well, we have our main core. Okay, that's your main identity. That's your main direction. And just building off of my last example, there's what we call an era, and it's something that you branch off to for maybe a couple songs, maybe an album, whatever. It's just a little one-off, but it's important to not make it completely random. It's your core identity plus influences from what's cool today, the trends today. You're not abandoning your main identity. You're just taking the trend, the influences in so you could evolve, stay relevant, because again, the market, they do what they do. And if that's where everyone's focused on, well, if you want to go where the money is, you need to start taking influences from those styles and adding it to your core identity for a time being while it's hot. And now you could bring in new fans that were part of the trend over here and introduce them to your music. And then now they have this full catalog of music from you. And they could be like, oh, good or bad, right? But now they have a full catalog they could fall in love with and binge through. Or, Maybe it wasn't the right fan, but they still like that song. So that song goes viral, gets more streams than all your other songs, and it still helps you at the end of the day keep finding new fans. So by now, you probably have a lot of ideas running through your head, and you're like, okay, can't wait to get going. I'm fired up. I'm excited. I want to go get this all done. If you already have work published, this is for you. If not, you could skip forward if you're starting new. But we need to do a quick brand audit. Is there anything that repeats in all your work? Everything around your project, is there anything that repeats? Is there anything that feels like you could do over and over again and you'll be like, yes, I like that. That's me. That's this project. And then what already connects? Is there themes that are already running through that have connections in your work, your music, artwork, releases, whatever? And you're going to start to collect those things. And then you'll start to move things away. Anything that feels disconnected from these groups over here that you just collected, we got to put to the side, save it for another day. Maybe when a trend goes that direction, we could be ready to go. Anything that just feels random, put it to the side and just start to strip away everything. Now you could clean your online presence if you want. I'm not saying you have to, and I didn't for some of my older projects. I just changed it going forward and making sure that direction changed going forward so I didn't lose my early work. But some people rebrand, start fresh, and then go with the clear direction. That's up to you. But right now, you just need to figure out what that answer is and what that looks like to you. So I know we went into a lot of things, and if you're taking notes, good on you. You're ready to take action. But sometimes if you're like me and you just listen to these things on another monitor, don't worry. I package it up in a playbook, as I said earlier, and it'll walk you through these steps so you could see, helps you decide, get to start to direct, build the GPT so that way you have a source of truth that AI references if it helps you with making decisions and start brainstorming the business structure. It knows the core project it's working on. And it's also going to help you build your artist identity Bible. Again, it's your source of truth. Everything about it helps you stay on track, helps AI stay on track as you're using it to help brainstorm and build out your business. And if you have any collaborations with other people and brands, there's an identity that they could learn. This is how you do things. This is what you want to be doing. If it can't align, then it's not going to work out. And that's okay because you are clear on your direction and you're not getting lost in the noise of everything else. So if you want to get this, link down below. And if you have enjoyed this video and just understanding what it takes to actually make money from your music, hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and if you have any questions, comment down below. We're going to keep diving into these topics and really put the power back in you. So whatever you're creating, your creative brand, you have the best resources and tools that you could actually get success yourself and not wait on people to discover you, thinking some record label, an agent are just going to give you millions of dollars because you make awesome music and somehow they found you. Crazy, I know. So put the power back in your hands. Learn what it takes to build a brand people can relate to and enjoy, and therefore you could start to produce money from your music. Link down below. See you in the next video. Peace.